in the NBA season. The Warriors kind of sputtered out of the gate. They don't have Clay. They didn't have Draymond. And people were kind of putting some slander on the Steph Curry name, and he responded with a 62-point performance yesterday. Jalen, what message did Curry send with this great game against the Blazers?
The message that he's going to need to send all season if they're going to be a playoff team and if they're going to advance, that he's an all-NBA first-team caliber player and the best point guard in the league. It was great after watching him play 5 games last year to see him get back to this elite, outstanding level where his usage was up, his minutes and his effectiveness was really high. Draymond Green being out there had a lot to do with it with his screens and his playmaking. But also Steph Curry has to put the league and the fans and the world on notice that yes, we're not the favorite to win it all this year, but I'm going to make sure I do work. That's what we saw Russ do when KD left OKC. That's what we see Harden doing. That's what we see Dame Lillard doing in Portland. So Steph Curry is charged with doing that. It was great to see him score 62.
Jalen, I have a confession. I was one of the doubters. I was watching these early Warriors games. I was thinking to myself, like, they might not even make the playoffs. Like, they're guys developing Wiseman. Wiggins doesn't really look right. Oubre wasn't hitting shots. And I was like, this team doesn't look very good. But a performance like this from Steph, if you're going to get half of this from Steph every night, they can not just make the playoffs, but make some noise. I don't think Oubre will continue to shoot this poorly. I think Wiggins will come into his own. I think Wiseman will develop. Like, this is going to be a very interesting team to watch. And one thing I love about this performance is Steph was not shy about it. He said, I heard all of you. I heard everything you were saying. And that motivated me to put up 62 points on the Blazers to a team over the past few years who are sort of leapfrogging the Warriors in the standings.
The only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. And when early in the year, when people like you were doubting, you know what he did? He made 105 straight shots from three-point range. He was in the gym continuing to work on his craft. And then it paid off in a major way. And the result was the 62-point game. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's what I like that I saw. Him be able to take those performances and now all of a sudden have his breakthrough signature performance of this early season.
Jalen, you and I both know what really turned around the season for Steph Curry, right? Me and you both know what really happened. What really made this 62-point performance happen? What is it?
I'm glad you reminded me. Because when he was making that 105, he took the braids out.
Braids are too tight.
When he had, they were struggling. I said it, and you know how much I love Steph. But I'm not a cool kid. I'm not a cool kid. So I'm not acting like I know what the style is. You see what I'm saying? But either way, they must have been too tight. Because now his scalp can breathe, Jacoby. Look at that.
He's good.
Now he's
free. Look at that hair.
He's free.
He's so much free. All that tension released from his cranium. He's free to breathe, free to hit. 105 threes in a row. And it felt like he hit 105 threes yesterday against the Blazers.
We got to ask him. We got to get him on the show.
Steph Curry, you know the braids were too tight. You talk about the motivation from people like me doubting you. It was really the braids were too tight to begin. The season, and finally we want you to admit that on wax. We have so much more to get to. King Henry and the Titans. King Henry goes over 2,000 yards, but he'll be facing Lamar Jackson in the Ravens in the playoffs, who went over 1,000 yards. That and much more. Stay tuned. You're watching a jam-packed Jalen and Jacoby.
All right, we're ready for Steph. Name and affiliation, please.
It's clear that some things have been frustrating you at the start of the season. So what were the things that have been marinating in your mind that helped him come out for a 21-point extending that to a 62-point record night?
I mean, losing in the fashion that we were in the first 3 games was never a good feeling, but you got to take those lumps and learn from them. And I think I think I said on Friday we got to test our resiliency, and we obviously proved that tonight. We got a lot more work to do. It's more so just trying to get to that level that we expect, and to be able to get a chemistry and a kind of expectation of what it's going to take for us to win this year. And, you know, we showed a lot of bright spots, obviously, tonight. Offensively, I saw the pictures and, you know, the way that they were defending me a lot better. I was able to pick and choose my spots, obviously be aggressive from the start, and, you know, shots fall. It was a pretty crazy night.
You could tell right away there was a look or eye starting this game. Did part of this feel personal for you?
Cue the Jordan meme, right? I take all that personally. It's just an opportunity to kind of assert my will on the game early and try to create some energy and, get off to the right foot. I think as crazy as it sounds after the game, all we really wanted to do was win the first quarter and take it from there. And obviously that's what we did, and continued momentum. And, we got a winning spirit. We just got to figure out how to do it consistently. And against the good teams in the league, it's going to test us.
You so much feed off of the fans and that energy, and you seem to kind of ignite your own energy with your teammates. How was that? And was it kind of strange not to have a building full of people, cheering every shot that you hit?
It was different. I heard Coach talk about all 42 people in the stands, gave me a round of applause from leaving the last 30 seconds of the game. But more so, we just had a better energy to start the game where you can feed off of that. And in this league, that's all you really need. And, we have some talented guys that I think that we care, and we're trying to get to the level, again, that we want to be at. So when you have something to be excited about, you kind of feed off your own energy. Things start to go your way. So there is no – I was around when obviously when Clay scored 60, and there's a different environment, a different experience, and you understand what that's like. This was totally different, but I'll take it.
You're not obviously going to score 62 every night.
Hey, why not?
If you do, you do. But do you feel like you need to hunt shots more like you did tonight than maybe you did the first few games?
I mean, it's more so just seeing how the defense is playing me and just trying to make the right decisions. Obviously, I think I got to shoot and I got to score, but, how it could look different from night to night. So that's what I got to continue to understand. And, being aggressive might not mean getting, double-digit shots every quarter. It's kind of just, again, especially as we start to implement our offense and see those patterns, we can start to open up more space, and I can affect the game that way. But I definitely have to be aggressive. I got to be decisive. And, tonight to start the game like that, I think it gave us all a big boost.
Do you feel like 62 points saved your legacy, or do you have 60 more games, as Seth said on Twitter?
That was my favorite tweet I saw before. So he knows how to keep it real for me. But there's nothing really needed to be said before tonight, and there's nothing I need to say afterward. It's just, like I said, I got to know I got a lot left in the tank, and just thankful to God that I'm healthy and able to be back out there playing and enjoying the game that I love, and surprising myself from time to time. So it's pretty awesome to kind of have a night like this, obviously get the win, and see where it goes from here.
Steph, you've had crazy highs, but it's been a rough year and change. What is it about your personality that lets you come out and be resilient and have nights like tonight after all that?
I don't get frazzled too easily, and very confident in who I am, and as a person, as a basketball player, and there's not going to be anything you can say about me or to me that's going to affect that. At the end of the day, that's how I got here, and I got a lot of people in my circle that understand what makes me tick and how much I enjoy this game, and all the different challenges that you get to experience, having been around 12 years plus. So it's going to be that kind of narrative from here on out, and I love it. I love everything about what this game offers, and the competitiveness and the fire, and I never run from it. So just excited to just be in that atmosphere where I get to play at the highest level and enjoy what I do.
Did you get a sense tonight when you were? Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you, sir. Steph, ordinarily, if we saw you score 62 points, we would think you hit a gazillion threes. But tonight it was like a lot of downhill, a lot of attacking the rim. Was that something you saw in the matchups? What motivated this approach to the 62?
Just being decisive. I saw, whether it was pick and roll or getting off the ball, kind of slowed down a little bit, and knew that if we got to the right, our spacing on Friday was not great, and we looked at some film and understood how to get to the right positions on the floor for everybody to have room to work. And I got to those spots in the first quarter, and it was just, I was feeling good. I obviously had good energy and was able to get downhill and get to the bucket, and that softens the defense up a little bit, and then you can start to get some transition threes, or obviously got to hit some tough ones from time to time, but it's just a matter of taking what the defense gave me in the first quarter.
Trong giấc mơ chỉ toàn người khóc, người vui, người điên, trên áng mây cao là hoàng hôn, thổn thức tim tôi. Vẫn một góc phố đông chiều mưa, tôi nhìn quanh chỉ thấy xe cộ ngang treo, không đợi nhau, không trông chờ nhau, không tìm nhau như trong.
And getting a good flow from there. So definitely helped, honestly, to play the same team twice and make the adjustments. It was really like a playoff type vibe where you can watch the film, know that they probably weren't going to make too many adjustments because it worked on Friday, and we had to answer.
Hey, Steph, Kylan with Cron 4. Have you talked to Klay Thompson at all tonight? I saw he tweeted at you about joining the Elite 60-point club.
No, I haven't talked to him yet. I'll call him on the way home, but I appreciated the tweet. I've been chasing to get in that club, since he did it. So, it takes one to know one, so I appreciate it.
Just one more follow-up about him, but what has your communication been like with him over the last couple games? Obviously, some ups and downs. I know that he wishes he could be there. Have you talked to him at all just in the last week? Has he had any advice or input for the team at all?
We all exchanged texts, and he sent us all a dope message before our first game on the East Coast last week, and obviously, want him to be around. I think he hopefully be here soon and be a part of the fold and start his rehab process. But he brings such a great energy to the room, and we miss it. So looking forward to having him around.
Criticism doesn't get to you, but you're obviously very perceptive. You know what's said and all the people that are talking. So as you go through a game like this, have you figured out over time why so many people are so critical of your game, seemingly constantly, no matter what you do?
I mean, you have guys and fans and teams and all across the board. Whoever you root for, whatever player, whatever team. It's kind of where the league is right now. It's you got to take the good with the bad in terms of when you have a 5-year stretch like we had, and obviously I don't have the track record before 2014-15. That's kind of the normal, top of the league kind of status or whatnot, and kind of taking the league by storm. All that stuff is just a part of the fold, and the great ones always, again, are confident who they are, no matter what's said, and no matter what, it's that what have you done for me lately type of vibe. It doesn't affect us or me in that respect. So when you win and when you kind of sustain that, you're always going to have a target on your back, and you're going to try to poke holes, and that's part of the business. I can't answer any better than that. It's just, I like being talked about because there's expectations.